How's it going, YouTube? I'm not that best talker in front of a camera, but I've gotten a few requests to do something along the lines of this. My name's Jake Britton. There's my cat. I've been told I should start making these videos to either document my progress or show the level of strength that I have in the sport of arm wrestling. So not much else I could say except let's get right into it. So I guess I could show you guys what my current setup kind of looks like. So I've got the squat rack that very few squats are done at. I've got a decent bench from Amazon that's supposedly got a 1,300 pound weight capacity. Not that I'll ever get near that. Over here I've got what might not look like much to someone who's not into arm wrestling, but it's pretty much a whole arsenal of all the tools you'll ever really need and more. Over here I guess it's just kind of tracking some of my lifts and the fundamentals of arm wrestling, because I do actually do some teaching here. I own my own club locally, so right here is my arm wrestling table. She's definitely worn down and been abused, but she's held up. It's the only one I've got, but she's withstood the test of time, that's for sure. This is my pulley system that is from Bells of Steel. It's actually true weight also. It's got the double pulley on it so you can cut the weight in half if you wish. Got lots of bands here and lots of plates. And that's basically my setup. She ain't pretty, but she gets the job done. I think in this video, pretty much, I'm going to kind of give a baseline of where I'm at. I'm probably the heaviest I've ever been. I've slimmed down a few pounds the last week or so, but right around 225 right now. So that's the biggest I think I've ever been. Probably start with a bodybuilding style workout. Then I'm going to get into a few more of the specific arm wrestling exercises. So today's basically going to be a little bit of hypertrophy for chest and triceps, and then we're going to get warmed up definitely because I'm a little sore from arm wrestling on Sunday. We're going to get right into it and see where I'm at for all the main arm wrestling lifts. So here we go. Yes, I do have a decent camera, but I only ever used it for photos, so not the best videographer. So right now, we're going to be doing dumbbell chest press, flat bench, and eventually I'll go up to incline. We're going to see what we can get today. I'm going to shoot for the probably 105 pound dumbbells each hand, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so we've got 107.5 pound dumbbells loaded up. I was going to go for 105s, I believe it was, because I've done 102.5s for 9 reps. But I don't have the plate increments to be able to make that happen, so we're just making a 5 pound jump instead of a 2.5 pound jump. So, there's nothing else much to say except for let's get it done and hope I don't die because I don't have a spot. Oh my gosh. Well, I wasn't sure about the quality of those reps, but I survived in those spots, so that's always nice. I was able to sit back up with those. Oh, my cardio's bad. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. I got 7 reps with a 107.5, so that's pretty good. I think I'm just gonna do some volume now, some triceps. Then we're gonna get into the arm wrestling exercises, which is my favorite part of every workout. Alright, so now I'm done my sets with the incline. Now I'm going to do a few higher rep sets of push-ups. I've been slacking on them lately. It's been literally probably 6 months since I've done like a decent push-up workout, so we're gonna see where I'm at right now. Just straight into her, no cuts. See what I can get. Chest touching the ground for every rep, of course. See where I'm at. That's 30. Oh, endurance is not there. Wow, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. For perspective, sorry for yelling into the camera there. For perspective, I used to be able to get 99. That was like 6 years ago, but I was probably 100, I'd say 175, 180 pounds. Now I'm 225, so there's a little more strain on the system. And my cardio sucks, so listen to me making all these excuses. Anyways, I'm gonna hit some tricep pushdowns. Heavy, because I just did 40 push-ups and that's about all I'm gonna do, because holy. I'm also gonna take these off, so they're not necessary anymore. I'm nice and warmed up. I honestly felt like what was given out there was my tricep, so that's something to be noted about, but all right, enough rambling. We're gonna hit some tricep pushdowns. I do it with the fat grip because I basically like to challenge my hand all the time for arm wrestling and my wrists, so don't make anything easier, if anything make it harder. So yeah. So we've moved on to arm wrestling stuff. Now, this is an exercise that I haven't really done in quite a while. So, again, no excuses. I've been slacking lately. This is like basically, this video is kind of for YouTube, but it's also kind of for myself to keep myself accountable and document, you know, me coming back and getting into my prime shape again. So, we're gonna be doing Captain's a Crush. And I know a lot of people from arm wrestling say, you know, it doesn't help arm wrestling. I believe, you know, any hand strength you can get helps because it's a hand sport. I don't believe I have my one down here. So if you guys know anything about Captain's a Crush, they're quite difficult. They're like the staple of grippers, I would say. There we go, that's the 1.5. I haven't done these in a while, so let's just Give her a shot and see where I'm at. Oh yeah. Okay. I've still got it. I think it's gonna be a pretty easy day. Maybe not so much for my left, but for my right, yeah. That was the 1.5. Let's get the 2 a shot. No break. Oh yeah. Easy. Left, this is gonna be like, it's gonna be a challenge. Oh, I got it though. Oh, yes sir, that's not bad. Guess I should show the camera that that is a number 2. If you guys can see that, yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna give myself a little break. I'll just do the 2 again in a second and then go right to the 3. Let's do that. All right, folks, we got the number 3 right here. Hopefully I don't get copyright for this music. See where I'm at. I'm gonna set it with my left hand. Not super deep, but probably deeper than credit card depth. See where I'm at. Ah! Woo! Ah, so close! Oh man. That was close. That was real close. That's really not bad for, you know, my first time doing those in, I want to say probably 2 months. So that's pretty good. I will close that in like a month, I will say. All right, now we're gonna move on to some arm wrestling exercises because I've been itching to just get into it. I'm not sure how my tendons are gonna hold up if I go real heavy, to be honest, just judging by how they felt for all the bodybuilding stuff that I just did. But we're gonna make no excuses and we're gonna get right into it. And I'm gonna do the classic deaf and rep pronation lift, but from a seated position. I take warm-ups for this exercise pretty quickly. I usually do 25-pound jumps and then a little bit smaller as I get closer to my max, but I think we're just gonna probably work up to like 90% today, just leave some in the tank. This is the one that I do. I actually probably do just slightly below parallel, which is harder. And I keep my wrist as straight, if not kicked back a little bit, as I possibly can. Of course, until it gets heavy. And crush my thumb down, left. And that's it. I try to keep it the same as I can, as much as I can, until I work the weight up. We got 50 pounds on the belt, ready to go. Bang. Easy. Easy. 75 pounds. Easy day. So, we've got 90 pounds on the belt. 25, 50, 75, 10 makes 85, 5 makes 90. Not too bad. My left's actually a bit of a struggle, which is interesting because I'm stronger on the table in top roll on my left, but I don't know, nothing can really match arm wrestling, no exercise, but we get as close as we can. So that was 90. I'll probably throw 5 more pounds on, why not? All right, so we've got 95 on the belt. We're gonna see how it goes. Not too sure, but I'm gonna give her a shot. Pretty easy, actually. Not so much on the left, but we got her. I think I am gonna call it there though, and probably save my energy and move on to rising. This isn't usually the structure of workout I do for arm wrestling training. Generally, I like to do, so I'll do pronation and back pressure, and I'll do rising and cupping together, generally. And side pressure is kind of a thing on its own. It's kind of like a how you're feeling, because it's pretty hard on the elbow, and it's all on how you're feeling, right? So I'm going to hit some rise now, and I may try the classic Dev on the Right Way, but I'm gonna do it seated, of course. But I have an exercise of my own that I'm gonna show you guys that I really like. But we'll start with the Dev on the Right Way first. All right, so for tying the Dev on the Right Way, I did realize something from my setup is it's very low. So I think I'm just gonna have to do it squatted down. Yeah, that's still pretty low, but we'll run it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Try to make it as strict as I can. Just lean back. Lean back. There it goes. It's been a long time since I've done rise. Well, this way anyway, but feels fairly good. I trained rise a bit last week, first time in a year. So we'll see how it goes. That's 60. All right, got 70 pounds on the belt. I will honestly be pretty happy with this if I get it. This is just a starting point, right? I have been slacking quite a bit, and realistically, I have no excuse. I have a home gym. It's not like I have to make the drive from the boonies where I live to some commercial gym, but now I've got my own thing just right downstairs that I've been slowly building, so just gotta keep myself accountable. So 70 pounds. I'm not gonna push 100% because, you know, rise is the kind of thing you can injure yourself. So I'm gonna see how 70 pounds feels, maybe go up. Should probably call it there. Feels pretty good though. Like it's not hurting anything, so. Yeah, calling it there. For perspective, I used to do 92.5 pounds on rise, but the form was a little questionable. So it was kind of, for perspective, I'm kind of going from here now, and it was kind of like this, and I could kind of drive up a little bit, so I think it was kind of cheating. Still got 92.5 pounds over my knuckle, but wasn't the best form, and that's kind of what I'm really focusing on here now, is no ego, all good form. So now I'm going to show you guys the exercise. I'm not saying I created it, I haven't seen anybody else do it, so I'll give you guys a decent angle here. All right, so I'm going to be doing my exercise. I'm not going to say I created it because I guarantee other arm wrestlers have done it in this form, but I believe this is a really good staple exercise for if you're on the table and you're down here and you're losing but still defending, not getting ripped right to the pad, you're still defending and you're trying to escape back. Yes, pronation is a huge part of getting that back, but if you're able to keep a high ground, it makes pronation a lot easier. So, this is all it is. And there's no cheat in this exercise because you really can't lever because your arm's pinned. So, this is all it is. You just grab a little bit of the belt. It is a little bit of a grip thing too. And bang. I try to bring it at least to 90 where you're at on the table, because that would be you going from a losing position to a winning position. That's just it. I try to pin my elbow on my side as if I'm trying to be tight on the table, but if it comes up, it's not the end of the world. I'm still not using my body weight to get it up. So we'll see where I'm at on this exercise. I think I will go for a max just because it's so difficult that you can't really push your tendons and your muscles per se because it's so unstable and difficult. This is 46 pounds fairly easy. A little bit of a struggle. That's pretty easy. This is 56 pounds. It's getting close to my max that I've done before. Can't really remember what my max was, to be honest. Okay, a little difficult. Can't tell if it's my rise struggling or my grip on the strap, because you have to squeeze it pretty hard or it's gonna slip. £61. Next jump will be 66 if I get this, but let's see how this feels. Got a little bit left in the tank. Okay, felt a little wonky on the left, to be honest. Surprised me. Smart thing would be to call it there, but not feeling too smart today, so we're gonna make another 5-pound jump. And we're gonna go to 66 pounds. Yes, sir! That was maximum effort. And I wouldn't have gotten that if it weren't for my emotional support. Yes, you. So that is, lighting's bad. That is 66 pounds on the rising from a losing position, 70 pounds on the rise squatted lift, 95 pounds on the pronation lift. Pretty happy with that as a starting point. Now we're gonna work on a little bit of wrist flexion. I don't wanna go too heavy because I find that's what aggravates my tendon pain when I'm not fully recovered. Alrighty, so this exercise is probably, I would say, the closest thing that I could mimic to arm wrestling on the table. If I really wanted to be picky, I could throw another belt over my rise, but this exercise is probably the king when it comes to just getting through the arm wrestling movement, getting blood flow to like all the different areas for recovery. I love doing this. You can also do it heavy, but so basically you just grab it like you're gonna pronate. You grab the strap, wrap it around, swoop around your wrist, and then that way it's kind of pronating into your wrist, so that way it doesn't get in the way of holding this handle. Pull it back. This is the wrist wrench, by the way. And then pronate, go for the pin. This is super good because it makes you have to defend drag, makes you defend back pressure, makes you defend your pronation, and which it's mostly low pronation, but you also have to defend your fingers and your wrist. So it's like all in one, just being able to stay like this, stay tight, and pronate and cup and go for the pin. I think it's really good, and you're really going to focus on, once you get near the bottom, finish with the pronation. I'm not really focused on staying on the pad as much as I am doing the movement, but it's probably a good idea to try and focus on the pad. Definitely lightweight that I'm using there, but I'm sore, so it's good for recovery. That's gonna probably be pretty much it for the exercises that I'm gonna show you guys today that I do. I do have quite a few more that are very specific for arm wrestling, but those are like the fundamentals, I would say. I do also do a bit of like on the rat and Devon rat do it. Just grabbing the thick 2-inch handle and dragging back. Super good. Allows you to be able to use the drag in arm wrestling without losing your wrist. For perspective, I guess I've done 155 pounds, I believe. Yeah, 155 on the drag, so that's pretty good. So, there was one exercise that I kind of forgot to feature in the video, but I don't know if anyone's ever done this, but it's super good. I find it's really good if you're arm wrestling someone who has a massive hand or a big thumb, and you really gotta hold on to them. It feels like it's blowing up your thumb like way quicker and your fingers way quicker than if you're arm wrestling someone just with an average size hand, right? What I like to do is grab the pronation belt like I'm gonna do a regular pronation lift. And what I'll do is I will take a little cross ball, nice and solid, and I will place it in my middle finger, my pointer finger, and my thumb. And I will straighten out my pronation. That way it's putting a lot of pressure on my thumb to open up because I can't fully close and cap over my thumb. So it forces me to squeeze more with my thumb and like I'm holding onto a bigger hand. This is only 50 pounds. What I'll do is I'll take it, hang it off, and then just hold. Static hold. It'll blow your hand right up. Alright, I feel like I've done enough rambling to lose all of your guys' interest early in the video, so I'm probably going to finish off with a few exercises. I'm going to do some rise, some table pronation, and probably just a little bit of wrist flexion just to get the blood flow going. Nothing too crazy, nothing to make me sore, but just to keep the muscle memory there. So yeah, I will probably be making these videos a somewhat regular thing. I gotta find a video editing software. I've got a decent camera to edit, but yeah, that's about it from me. I feel like I'm probably going to start making these videos at practice also, because kind of lacking on the content from practice. I feel like there's a lot of good practices that go by and nothing was photographed or recorded, so I'm about probably the only club really who doesn't make any content. Peter Smith up in Moncton there, he's real good at the videos for sure. So I'm just trying to start my own thing. It's been some inspiration for sure from him. So I'm just gonna stop rambling here and do a few exercises and we'll call our video.